everything or nothing. Today's Giro d'Italia stage is a deceptive one. 189 kilometers from Alessandria to Verbania, with the first 160 as flat as a billiard table. Then comes the sting in the tail. The final 30 kilometers perfectly suited to a late breakaway and an open finale. A breakaway that never quite took shape yesterday, over 175 kilometers from Imperia to Novi Ligure. It was a furious start, raced at a relentless pace that neutralized an early move by a group of 18 riders. The sprinters' teams, determined to set up a bunch finish, chased hard and brought everything back together, with Movistar doing the bulk of the work, even over the two climbs. Ironically, it was the sprinters themselves who couldn't hold the pace. Then, with just 3 kilometers to go, Belgian rider Felix Gall of Bahrain Victorious launched a powerful attack. Perfect timing, no hesitation.
I feel great for sure. Winning a stage at Giro d'Italia is super nice. Also, the team is doing great with the Maglia Rossa, and we're living the dream right now.
Meanwhile, race leader Eulalia continues to impress. Thanks to bonus seconds at the Red Bull kilometer, he gained 6 seconds on Vingegaard and Arensman, and today he wears the Maglia Rossa for the 8th consecutive day. Exactly 37 years ago, on May 22, 1989, a Portuguese rider like him, Acácio da Silva, pulled on the pink jersey for the first time after winning the Catania Etna stage. Behind Eulalia, the top positions in the general classification remain unchanged. The race resumes in Piedmont, crossing the Po Valley from south to north. From Alessandria to Lake Maggiore, the route follows mostly wide, straight roads through key towns like Casale Monferrato and Vercelli. After tracing the western shore of Lake Maggiore, the final begins with a sequence of short climbs. First up is Bieno with manageable gradients, followed by Ungiasca, 5 kilometers with sections over 10%. Then comes the descent into Verbania and the finish. It's unlikely the general classification contenders will take risks on the eve of a decisive alpine stage. Instead, the conditions could favor a late move from a breakaway group, who was born right here in Verbania and might even try a long-range attack or a surprise move.
Speciale poter correre vicino a casa.
Credo che per ogni atleta professionista arrivare nel proprio paese sia qualcosa di veramente grande e bello.
Summer sun, 27 degrees at the start. Summer has truly arrived on the roads of the Giro d'Italia. Waving the flag to start stage 13 is RCS President Urbano Cairo. From the very beginning, it's attack and counter-attack, with the peloton stretched out in a long line. The first real move comes at kilometer 13. 7 riders go clear, setting a blistering pace of over 60 kilometers per hour. At the moment of maximum effort, the race leader Eulalia suffers a puncture.
His bike will be on the outside, easy to replace.
Yeah, bike change.
Bike change.
The wheel change procedure is quickly underway, and the Portuguese rider sets off at full speed to chase back on. While 5 riders launch an attack from the peloton in pursuit of the breakaway.
Allora la situazione, siamo al chilometro 21 di gara, sempre 6 uomini al comando, 10 secondi di ritardo per i 5 immediati seguitori, 25 secondi di ritardo per il gruppo allungato e frazionato.
At kilometer 43, the two groups come together. Meanwhile, 4 more riders break away from the peloton, chasing the 11 leaders up the road. With the average speed still above 50 kilometers per hour, the breakaway riders wait for the chasing quartet to join them, shaping what could become the definitive move of the day. The groups merge, and now 15 riders must organize themselves to carry this move to the finish. The peloton, nearly 5 minutes behind, is willing to let them go. The caravan moves through the rice fields of Vercelli as the peloton gradually slows, and the gap to the 15 riders in the breakaway stretches to 8 minutes.
Controllo cronometrico, 8 minuti di ritardo per il gruppo.
A hectic day for the Maglia Rossa. Eulalia, who after a puncture is also dealing with a shoe change. The gap reaches 9 minutes with 100 kilometers to go. After 2 hours of racing, the average speed is 49.4 kilometers per hour. When the breakaway riders reach Lake Maggiore, their advantage over the peloton hovers around 10.5 minutes. The scenery is breathtaking, but there's no time to admire it. After 3 hours of racing, the average speed stands at 49.6 kilometers per hour. At the intermediate sprint in Stresa, valid for the Ciclamino jersey classification, Sevilla crosses the line first while the gap to the peloton stretches beyond 11 minutes. The climb to Vienna does not split the group, and the breakaway remains compact over the summit at 333 meters, with Sevilla, Jacobs and Maestrine leading the order. Before the final climb, the riders pass under the Red Bull KM banner, offering time bonuses for the general classification, with Kench and Huens leading the way. On the Ungiasca climb, 15 kilometers from the finish, 4 riders move clear, with Leknesson launching a solo attack. His move is matched only by Alberto Bettiol, who knows these roads perfectly. Calm and composed, he follows the Norwegian before overtaking him with a decisive acceleration, cheered on by a wall of fans.
A big acceleration from Alberto Bettiol, looking for room on the right-hand side, and the Italian goes clear. He breaks Andreas Leknesson towards the top of the climb, and it's Bettiol now who turns table on Andreas Leknesson, and that might be the race-winning move. Heartbreaking for Leknesson, as in the last 200 meters of this brutal little climb outside Lake Maggiore, Alberto Bettiol.
Bettiol heads into the descent alone, holding a gap of around 20 meters over Leknesson, with Kench and Valgren chasing at 19 seconds. His effort is outstanding and his advantage over the Norwegian continues to grow. The final kilometers become a triumphant ride for the Tuscan.
A surgical move broke Andreas Leknesson, tore the race apart, and from that moment on, there was no other outcome possible than victory for Bettiol.
It is the third Italian victory of this Giro, and the second for the XDS Astana after Ballerini's win. The 9th career victory for the 32-year-old from Castelfiorentino. Behind him finished Leknesson and Stuyven. The peloton crosses the line 13 minutes and 8 seconds later. In the general classification, nothing changes. Eulalia will wear the Maglia Rosa for the 9th consecutive day, leading Vingegaard by 33 seconds, with Arensman at 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Lo sapevo.
Volevano veramente che io facessi bene, poi vincere è sempre molto difficile, vincono veramente in pochi in questo ciclismo, quindi...
After today, the Giro shifts gear. Tomorrow brings the Alps in one of the toughest and most decisive stages of the entire race. It's 133 kilometers from Aosta to Pila, a relentless sequence of climbs and descents. Right from the start, the riders face the long ascent of San Bartolomé, 15 kilometers at 6.5%, followed by a fast, sweeping descent of nearly 20 kilometers. Before the final climb, there are 3 more ascents, including the first category Colle de Ligne Noire, 7 kilometers at 8%, which leads to the base of the final climb from Gressan. From there, it's 16 kilometers at 7%, with ramps up to 11%, around 50 minutes of climbing on already fatigued legs, all the way to the finish in Pila. On the earlier climbs, team leaders will set their squads to work, but on the final ascent, they will launch their attacks, aiming to completely reshape the general classification.